Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you for joining us again with our weekly sessions. We try and bring these sessions in order to provide some practical support in this time. So, this isn't about meditation for the sake of meditation, it's actually trying to ensure that we provide practical understanding about health, practical understanding of what we can do on a day to day level in order to maintain our health. Because at the moment, we're now 4 or 5 weeks into this lockdown. And what we are starting to recognize is that there is now a change, a shift has happened. So let me give you an explanation. So a few weeks back, 4 or 5 weeks back, when we started to hear the information about how this situation was going to impact our health, how we were going to uh, our health was at risk, we could die, and this panic began. So we experienced fear, and out of that fear, we ensured that we took the appropriate action to keep us safe, which is the kind of stuff that is what you would expect. And if we maintain our focus on the media, then this fear will only increase, and it will become more and more um, part and parcel of your reality. So now things have started to change. Okay, 4 or 5 weeks on, we've been given an opportunity to do things that, you know what, we never had the time to do. We've started doing things like Tai Chi, Qi Kong, learning new exercises, going for walks. We've also now started to recognize that being confined in situations with other people can actually be quite challenging. We have situations where people are finding they are exposed to abuse, emotional abuse, but also seeing how they are acting themselves, how they become part of this process. So when we become locked, when we become trapped, it's our natural reaction to feel threatened. And as a result, our sense of ego, because what feels threatened isn't your body, it's your ego, it's your internal sense of self. And when this feels threatened, it immediately then kicks off a whole range of other activities. Now, within the Gurmat worldview, the basis of our experience is our ego. It's our mind and our ego. And therefore, there are some really important elements that we can learn from this. The first thing is that our minds can create our reality. This is like at a very basic level. Wherever your mind is focused on, that is your reality at a very basic level. But when we add the understanding of consciousness to this, that we can make conscious choices, it empowers us. It empowers us to be able to do something that is transformative. So we don't repeat the same patterns. So we learn and we transform with the process of transformation that's going on. Today, mankind, humankind, womankind, existence has taken us now to a point of no return. And the point of no return is life is transforming and is starting to transform quite fast. So, how do we make appropriate change self and our interactions such that we maintain a healthy space from within us and we are able to exercise, do something valuable? We cannot underestimate the moment we are in now, the time we are in now. We cannot underestimate this. Things are never going to be the same, and nor do we want them to be the same. So there is a shift of our intention. So first, our intention was fear-based. We didn't know quite what to do. We were trying to save ourselves, and as a result, new behaviors came about. We expressed our craving for things. We expressed our infatuation, our greed. It wasn't enough to have a little bit of food. We wanted food for 6 months. And then a lot of people ended up throwing this stuff. So you notice how fear generated lust, meaning craving, generated greed, meaning infatuation, want more than you need. Attachments. I need to be attached to people I love. I need to be attached to the things that I surround myself. So attachment became more enlivened, became more pronounced, as did our sense of self, trying to preserve ourselves. Yeah. And so you notice that this one process from fear kicked off all these behaviors, and many of these behaviors are self destructive. So now look at what's happening. We can change our attitude. We've never had the time or the opportunity to be by ourselves, to know ourselves as we are beginning to know ourselves exactly like the rest of the world. How incredibly wonderful is this? That you have been given this experience. And in an experience when, particularly in uh, uh, the Western world, we are looking at spring. Everything is flourishing, everything is colorful, everything is fragrant, everything is abundant. Now you can synchronize yourself with this energy, universal energy, and begin to flow with the change. So from the 23rd of uh, April to the 28th, 29th of April provides us this position, this one moment in it's like biorhythms, things that kind of work together. So there's a rhythm going on. So we are at a point at which we have the possibility to influence existence, the role in existence, and our place in it in a positive way. So that fear is now gratitude. Thank God we had COVID 19. Thank God we had the panic. Thank God the world had time to take a standstill and to begin to look at itself. We have all been waiting for this reality, and it is here now. And as this reality becomes more manifest, we think, wow, let us shift our attitude. Our attitude shifts when we begin to see things in different ways. So, when we change the way we look at things, the things that we look at change. So let me repeat that again. When we change the way we look at something, when we change the way we look at something, that something changes. So your perception determines how you interact and perceive with something. So as we change the way we look at things, the things that we look at change. At this panic, this of fear, concern, danger. But today, with hindsight, we look back and we say, actually, we are in a healthier place. Yes, we have worries about economy and stuff like that, but as I've always said to you, you're looked after. Trust is really important in this moment. Not trusting the government, not trusting the vaccination, not trusting the rubbish that you're hearing on the mind control media. Trust your inner space. This life will never repeat itself again. Never ever will you and I have this moment. And we can really make a difference. And history will judge us. When we look back, is it enough to just follow orders? Have you not got sovereignty for yourself where you begin to ask a few questions? What's going on? Hold on a second. Let me step back and look at this with a clear mind, without my um, distorted lens, because that's how your worldview is created. This is how your lens is created through which you look at the world. So the media, fear, 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 fear. You're going to die. You're going to die. Look how many people are dying. Blah blah blah. Absolute stupidity to be able to engage in that for so long. What is there nothing else to report in this world? Why are we constantly bombarded with that? Because it maintains a worldview, and that worldview maintains fear. And if you are fearful, your physical immunity changes. So, over the last two sessions that we've done, we've introduced ideas of how to create mental immunity and how to create emotional immunity. So, we start bringing these three things into harmony: mind, emotions, and the body. So with the body, we do physical exercise, and this isn't running or jogging. I'm talking cultivate chi and energy. So things that have worked for thousands of years are likely to work today. That's a tested time. So if Tai Chi, Qi Kong, yoga, and I'm not talking about some of those recent stuff, I'm talking about things with lineage, meditation, if these have been around for thousands of years, they must benefit humanity. So, the first thing to recognize is if something has been here for so long, it must be here to benefit humanity. So, begin to take one of these practices. Two, once you've taken this practice of Tai Chi or Qi Kong, next is meditation, because health begins with the mind. Doesn't matter what your biomedical model says out there, it is wrong. The biomedical model is incorrect. The biomedical model does not tell you what health is about. It tells you what sickness is, and it tells you how to cultivate that sickness. And it's dealing with treatment, not cure. But the body is a self healing system. And once you begin to recognize what the mind is doing, you begin to recognize how the mind can disturb our equilibrium, our homeostasis. So, meditation is absolutely critical. Second thing, when you're learning meditation, make sure you learn from someone who has a lineage. They can tell you that this person taught me, who taught him, who taught him, who taught him or her, and you can trace it down for maybe 500 years. Otherwise, you're being taught by Mickey Mouse McDonald's version of meditation, and this has a risk. And the risk is this, that when you begin to learn meditation, we are starting to experience certain experiences which you could term extraordinary. We may hear voices, we may see things, we may have retro life knowledge, which is a nice way of saying past life knowledge. We may have predictive dreams, we may have visions, we may feel things against us. We may be able to expand, we may be able to contract. These 18 super cognitive abilities are well known and well understood in certain traditions. So meditation will kick this off. It's only a matter of time. Maybe not with everyone, but certainly with about 30 to 40% of the people. Some phenomena will take place, if not more. When this happens, it can sometimes be very frightening, especially if it has an old trauma attached to it. Now, where do you go for help when you need that? Where do you need to go for help? If someone hasn't got a lineage, really what they've done is taken you to an unknown space and left you there by yourself, and you don't know how to get out of it. So using mantras willy-nilly can also have a similar effect. So it's important to know who the teacher is, what the teacher's lineage is, and have they dealt with extraordinary experiences. Very, very important. So meditation helps us develop mental immunity. keeping away from the mainstream propaganda, mental immunity, making sure you do something new, something creative, begin to learn something, mental and emotional immunity. Begin to sit with yourself and recognize your emotions, your irritations, your resentments, the stories that you're telling yourself. Begin to create a distance between what you're thinking and who you are. So, this series starts with transforming health. Once we are balanced within, the external takes place by itself. So, I want to bring you to your essence, the essence of existence, the essence of you. Okay, so let me prove this to you. So, I am holding something in front of you. You can all see this, yes? What can you deduce by looking at this object? You could deduce it's something to some kind of an object that is used to ring a bell. It has a felt or leather bit at the top. It's made out of wooden. I'm holding it in my hand. Blah blah blah. But the question is this object you? And the obvious answer is, of course, not. I am separate from this object. Once you recognize that anything that you can perceive, anything that you can see through your senses, you can hear, cannot be you, can it? If you are able to look at something outside, it means it's separate from you. Subject, object. Now, if this is true, which it certainly is, and it is your essential element, it's your mool roop, your essence, then this essence has some qualities. The first quality is it's conscious. It knows that it is. You know that you were looking at this before your mind became engaged trying to work it out. So when we first contact something, it is our awareness, our consciousness. So let's understand this is our consciousness. And when you say a word in your mind, within yourself, you can say your name, you can say something wonderful. When you say that, you will notice that there is something that's being said and there is a listener, someone who is listening. That listening capacity is the capacity of your consciousness. This is your essential being. Now, this essential being has certain qualities, and some of those qualities are profound because they can be developed into enabling manifestation and change of existence, change of your reality. So, the question I would like to ask my friends out there is what kind of reality do you want? What kind of life do you want? Do you want a life where you're working 40 hours a day, having to put up with all of that banter and that fakeness simply to make other people lots and lots of money and putting 40, 50 years of your life in there and then dying in an old people's home where they don't even care for you? Talking about the staff, but people are dying now in such dire states that they can't be even comforted. What kind of humanity is this? What kind of humanity is this? Time to ask yourself some questions because it will determine which timeline you go to. Because we are at the absolute crossroad of creating timelines, finishing one off, creating a new one. And yes, there may be some bleeding in between them, but it's starting to kick off. Hence, our collective conscious global meditation that we hold on the 23rd of April to help initiate this process, to help you participate in this process. Remember, it's going to take place by itself anyway. Question is, when the time came to walk, did you walk? So, by changing our attitude, our perceptions change. So, by attitude and perceptions are really two sides of the same thing. So, we change our attitude to become more conscious. to all this panic and drama, and we give it thanks and we give bless it. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to know ourselves, to sit in meditation, to learn new things, and you know what? To take a second chance at our life. And it is our second chance. So we begin with our mind, get our mind in place, meditation, to our emotional health. And I will expand this more as we go along. So I want to now bring you to your essence. Because if I asked you the question, can you hear a violin? No, unless you're near a violin. So if something is present, we can perceive it, we can become aware of it. So as we go into this meditation, what we're going to try and cultivate is the knowing bit. That as we go in, do we take account of our experience? Because that will bring us to our essential quality. And that essential quality is the starting point of our next journey, the journey into growth, transformation, and creating a life that allows us to be human within and exercise that humanity out in our sovereignty. So let us sit in our meditation today. Truth is the change, and trust is our medicine. Trust the process, trust all will be as it needs to be, and it is for your benefit. It has never been otherwise. It has never been otherwise. Even when you were in your mother's womb and you had all those risks, you were still preserved. You are always looked after. You are always looked after. So let us begin our meditation. This is the time of our trust. This is the time of our truth. So close your eyes, close your mouth. If you feel you can't breathe into your nose, then you can breathe into your mouth. And just loosen your shoulders and your back a little bit, becoming present of yourself. So as you breathe in, bring your focus to yourself. So remember, our intention is knowing, to experience our experience the best and in without any distortion, to be clear about it. So as you bring your focus to your body, you'll notice that you can sense your body. That there seems to be a form, and this form may not be clear and outlined, but there is a presence that has a form. So it's not so much that you are in your body, but your body is the manifestation of your presence inside her. Begin to note the sensations that are at the top, bringing it down, holding your focus towards your eyes, your jaw, just scanning your face. And then from your neck, start to scan your shoulders down to your arms and your hands. Scan the front of your body, moving to your chest, and just stop there. Just stop there for a moment. Hold your focus on your chest. Notice as the breath comes in, the chest seems to hold your focus at your chest. Now you may find that there are sounds and noises around you. If you find that you're distracted, bring your focus back to your chest. Does your chest feel open or does it feel closed? Does it feel tight or does it feel loose? Now bring your focus down towards your stomach. Then the stomach expands. As the breath goes out, the stomach contracts. Hold your focus at your stomach. Now take your focus to the bottom where you're sitting and notice where the body makes with the floor. And now we're going to come back and bring our focus up our back. So bring it to your lower back first. Notice the sensations at your lower back. As you breathe in, bring your focus to your middle back. On your next breath in, bring this focus up to your shoulder blades. As you breathe out, take your focus down from your shoulders down to your elbows. From your elbows, move it down to your wrists, palms of your hands, and then the fingers. And bring your focus to the back of your neck. Pull your chin in slightly. Move your focus towards your eyes. Notice that you can still see or have awareness of darkness. So since you have awareness of darkness, you can't be the darkness. You are that awareness that knows darkness. Allow this part of the body to relax and soften. Move your focus to your mouth, your tongue in particular. Relax your tongue. Notice the sensations within your mouth. And relax your jaw. As you breathe in, bring your focus back to your body itself. Again, notice that you have a presence that has a form, a presence that has a form. And you have awareness of this. You have awareness of the form of your body. Maybe this may not be very clear and distinct, but you have a presence in a state of non-suffering. Is this moment pleasant? Is this moment unpleasant? Be true to yourself. Not what you're thinking, but this moment. And on your out, begin to just listen to the sounds around you. And notice how your presence extends as you follow this bell. Notice as your awareness expands, so does your presence, filling the space around you. When you're ready, bring your focus just beneath your nose. Draw a slow deep breath in, hold, and relax. Breathing in, you know you're breathing in. Breathing out, you know you're breathing out. Holding your focus just beneath your nose. With a little bit of effort, exercising your intention. Exercising your intention. Holding your intention. Notice how the breath moves by itself. Breathing in, you know you're breathing in. Breathing out, you know you're breathing out. Breathing in, you know you're breathing in. Breathing out, you know you're breathing out. Stay with your breath. Now notice that your breath, as it comes in, has a start, it lasts for a little while, and it has an end. And your out breath has the same start, middle, end. As best as you can, see if you can notice the three parts of your in breath and the three parts of your out breath. Start, middle, end of your in breath, start, middle, end of your out breath. Stay with your breath. And now move your focus and follow the out breath all the way till the end. Allow the breath to end naturally, and all you want to do is notice exactly when it finishes, allowing each out breath to move you deeper and deeper and deeper into this moment. It is moving, yet you, the observer, is unmoving. The breath is moving, but you, as the observer, watching the breath, remains unchanging. As the breath changes, as it comes in, as the breath changes, as it goes out. This present moment is in a constant state of change. Yet you, the observer, remains unchanging. Stay with your breath. As you breathe out, Bring your focus to how you're breathing right now. Notice if your breath is cold or if it's warm. Notice if your breath is cold or if your breath is warm. The observer doesn't get cold or warm, but you perceive temperature. Notice if the breath is cold or the breath is warm. Try and listen to the out breath as it goes out. Try and listen to the in breath as it goes in. And whenever you get disturbed, your focus is distracted, notice the distraction, come back to your breath. Listening to the in breath as it comes in, listening to the out breath as it goes out. On your next breath out, expand your awareness, becoming aware of your whole body as best as you can. And connecting you to all from the ground beneath you to the air around you, to the trees, the birds, the clouds, the sky, the planets, the stars, the universe, the galaxies, the oceans, every single thing that exists in the present moment, you are part of, embedded. Karta. This is creative. Your body is in a constant process of change, self creating itself. And you have awareness of this. So you have awareness of your body as best as you can be. And on your next breath out, begin to listen to the sounds around you. Follow the sound of this bell and see if you can notice the silence at the end of the bell. Notice how the silence contains all the sounds within it. Following the sound again and again, trying to merge yourself within that silence. Following this bell and noticing the stillness at the end of the bell. For the present moment is still and silent, just as you are. Notice how in this moment there is no fear, there is no anger, and in this moment there is a sense of timelessness. Gently bringing your focus back to your breath, just sitting with your breath. Now notice the qualities of your experience. Notice that this moment creates the next moment all by itself. Consciousness is simply embedded in the moment of now, as is your body. And this whole change is taking place by itself. Yet you are conscious. It is this conscious clarity beyond the thinking mind that gives us a glimpse into our essence. Notice how you feel. Notice how the body feels. Notice the sense of peace and tranquility that you may be experiencing. Take a moment to give yourself some gratitude for having taken the time out to begin to know yourself better, to recognize that deep down inside, you are nothing more than emptiness, silence, and stillness. You are perfectly safe. You always have been and you always will be. And it is with this sense of trust that we exercise our intention to create a life in which we are grateful for every moment, focusing our focus away from things that create panic and distress, and focusing towards those things that give us joy, creativity, health, and well-being. Without health, there is no wealth, for health is your wealth. In a moment, you will hear the sound of another bell. Use this sound to draw a few deep breaths in, and then in your own good time, opening your eyes. Bring some of that peace back. Thank you very much for joining us. Become ready, be prepared, for the moment of now will never give us such an opportunity. Join us, bring others to be part of this collective start of the collective consciousness meditation sessions. And these sessions begin on the 23rd of April, 6 o'clock GMT. Please join us. Thank you very much. Know that whatever has happened has been a blessing. For now, you are in a moment of change, for that is the truth. So develop trust within yourself, for you are no different from the source. You are, in fact, the expression of the source. So enjoy your few days in life, make them valuable, for life is very fragile and extremely hard to come by. So make use of it and stand up and express your truth. For the time has come for you and I to express our truth. Where do you stand? So please join us again in a couple of days' time. Thank you to the Flame family. Thank you to all our family and friends in Ecuador, in Colombia, and in Spain, and in Amsterdam, various parts of the world, USA, Toronto, everywhere. Thank you very much for joining. Be the change. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ